Good afternoon, my friends. It's Wednesday. Sorry, my days are all mixed up in my brain. And we are reading the second book of Knuffle Bunny. So it's called Knuffle Bunny 2, written by Mo Willems. And I have my Knuffle Bunny here so he can help us read it together. And then when we're all finished reading the second book, we're going to compare and contrast using a Venn diagram to talk about what things were the same about the first Knuffle Bunny and the second Knuffle Bunny, and what things were different about it. So we'll put the different ones here, and then we'll put the same ones in the middle, okay? So I want you to kind of think, what are the similarities and what are some differences that you hear in the second story compared to the first one, okay? Here we go. Knuffle Bunny 2. You know what's funny too is that this is the second book, so you think it would be the number 2, but it's the 2 that means also. So Knuffle Bunny, also. Okay, and look, there's 2 Knuffle Bunnies. All right, so here's the pictures again. Remember, they all have the real life backgrounds and then the cartoons in front. So they got married. They had baby Trixie, then there's Trixie in the carrier, Trixie with her Knuffle Bunny, and now Trixie's older. She has a Knuffle Bunny, and looks like a friend might have a second Knuffle Bunny. We'll see. Okay. One morning, not so long ago, Trixie took a walk with her daddy. By now, Trixie really knew how to talk. Remember in the first one, her first words were Knuffle Bunny? Guess what I'm going to do? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show Amy, then I'm going to show Meg, and she's talking to her dad. And then I'll show Margot, and then I'll show Jane, and then I'll show Leela, and then I'll show Rebecca, and then I'll show Noah, and then I'll show Robbie, and then I'll show Tashi, and then I'll show Casey, and then I'll show Connie, and then I'll show Parker, and then I'll show Brian, and then... Trixie was excited because she was taking her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny someplace very special. Come on! School. Remember they passed that in the first book? So, look, she's walking up the stairs. She's walking down the hall and into her new classroom. And then she got a little lunchbox with a T on it, just like you guys did for kindergarten. Trixie couldn't wait to show Knuffle Bunny to Miss Greengrove and all her friends in pre-K. So she's going to pre-kindergarten. But just as her daddy kissed her goodbye, Trixie saw Sonia. Look it. She's got a Knuffle Bunny. What? Trixie thought it was one of a kind. Suddenly, Trixie's one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny wasn't so one-of-a-kind anymore. The morning did not go well. Knuffle, 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 Knuffle. They're fighting over how you say Knuffle Bunny. And the afternoon was worse. Look it, they got their Knuffle Bunny taken away. Oh no. When the school bell rang, Miss Greengrove returned to the Knuffle Bunnies. Look, they're happy. And the day got better. Then, before she knew it, it was time to go home. So she was playing with their Knuffle Bunny in the swing. Trixie ate her dinner, devoured her dessert, brushed her teeth, and tried to escape the mommy and daddy robots from planet Snurp. At 1/2 past bedtime, Trixie was tucked in. Oh, hey, what'd I see? That's our friend from one of the other Mo Willems stories. Stuffed animal. And she was ready for sleep. But a few hours later, snip, toss, turn. Trixie realized something. Trixie marched into her mommy's and daddy's room and said, "That is not my bunny." Oh. Trixie's daddy tried to explain what 2:30 a.m. means. It's super early in the morning. He asked, "Can we deal with this in the morning time?" Trixie's daddy went to the phone after she looked at him and looked and looked. And then he's like, "Oh, fine." And before he even made it down the stairs, the phone rang. Who could it be? "We have your bunny," said a man's voice on the other end. It must have been Sonia's parents. "We have yours," replied Trixie's daddy. Arrangements were made. Oh, look, it's super dark still. Trixie and her daddy rushed across the neighborhood, just like in the first story. Trixie did not want to be late. So look, there's a picture of New York City. It looks like they live there. They're way down there. And look, Sonia's way over here. Neither did Sonia. There was an exchange. They switched bunnies. And the Knuffle Bunnies were back. Yay! Back where they belonged. "I was so worried about my bunny," said Sonia. "So was I," Trixie replied. Then they both said, "I'm glad you got your bunny back," at the exact same time. And that is how Trixie found her first best friend. The end. They drew both the Knuffle Bunnies with chalk on the ground. And you could tell the difference between the Knuffle Bunnies because one of them has a little bow. I think that's Sonia's. And the other one doesn't. It's Trixie's. Oh, here's the epilogue. So that means that this tells you what happened in the future and towards the end, okay? So let's see. Looks like they're walking together and Dad's really tired in the morning. The next morning, both Trixie and Sonia rushed to school. Both dads are really tired. The new best friends had a lot of catching up to do. "Do you want to play with my Knuffle Bunny?" "Sure. Do you want to play with mine?" The end. Okay, so before you unmute yourself, think in your heads. What were some things that were different about Knuffle Bunny 2 and Knuffle Bunny, the first one? Okay, so we'll put the differences in these big circles. And then where the circles overlap, that's where we'll put the similarities, the things that were the same about both books, okay? So think in your head. I put a little picture of Big Trixie on this side so you knew which book that was for, and I put a picture of Baby Trixie on this side, okay? So think in your heads before you unmute yourself, and I'm going to turn off the recording.